Welcome, folks, to a 15-year-old tradition, which is Final Project Skit. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. No work to do. Just sit back, lean back, relax, and enjoy. But I'm going to spoil your fun for just a couple minutes while they're getting ready to tell you a bit about Final Projects. Yeah, I know. There is something in the way of paying dues after you get all this enjoyment this afternoon. Final Projects are a culminating experience.
Let me put this up here.
Both in the good sense and the bad sense. Culminating that there isn't any more after that, but also good in the sense that it puts a whole bunch of ideas that you've been learning all semester together, and it's your chance to be creative. The projects are moderately well described, but not in gory detail. And you have a lot of opportunity to let your imagination reign and to do some really interesting things with the final projects. But be careful that you stick to the basics and that you do the things that are required to be done first before you do bells and whistles. The projects are time consuming. They take anywhere from 700-800 lines of code to maybe as many as 1,500 lines of code. The longer projects, maybe a little bit more straightforward. The shorter projects, less code, but more complicated algorithms that you have to deal with, or more complex data structures. So the size of the project is not necessarily an indicator of how difficult it is. The key to having a really good time with the final projects is not to try to cram them in the last 5-6 days. You won't make it, first of all, because this is going to be the ladder from hell the last couple of weeks. Everybody will be in here trying to get final projects done in this course as well as in others. So don't count on waiting until a week before to get started. You will absolutely guaranteed not make it. You got to get started today. Not writing code, not designing, but thinking about it, picking project, mulling it over in your mind, looking at the set that we're proposing, and then getting down to work when you come back from Thanksgiving. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll be done, the sooner you'll have a chance to pay attention to your other courses, and most of all, you avoid the last-minute panic that comes from not getting started in time. So please listen to me, please believe me, do yourself and your friends and your family a favor and get started on time. Don't wait until it's going to be a bad experience. I have to tell you that though it is the longest project, it's also the thing that people appreciate most at the end of the course. It's the place where they put it all together and we're able to let themselves go with it. So make it an enjoyable experience starting time. Are we ready finally? Can I stop blathering? Ready to go? Camera working? Turn off the overhead. Hold on to your seats. Here we go.
Jeff.
Where can I find this computer disk?
Who do you think I am, a TA or something? What a diabolically ingenious plan! If I do say so myself. I'll hide it on a computer disk. But wait. I don't know how to program. I'll have to find some computer geek to do it for me. But where? Providence, Rhode Island. No one would ever look for the meaning of life there. Now that I'm done fixing their local elections, I'll have no problem. Shut up! I must check out the Providence geek community. I'm a master! Ah!
I've got to find a job for winter break. This Ivy League school tuition is killing me. I can't even afford to put gas in my Beamer. With all my experience as a CS11 TA, I should have no problem finding a job. Here's something. Wanted, computer programmer to help evil wizards secure the world for the forces of darkness. Pays better than the CIA. Flexible hours. Guess I'll give him a call. 1-800-EVI-LWIZ.
Evil wizard!
Hello. Are you looking for a computer programmer?
Yes, I need you to write a program that will allow politically correct and or other would-be do-gooders to enter a maze in search of the scroll containing the meaning of life. Of course, haha, the witless fools will be doomed because the maze is filled with monsters and all sorts of slimy, icky, disgusting creatures with slavering jaws that will slay them before they're able to find the scroll.
Okay, no problem. But where will the scroll be?
That's on a need-to-know basis. And you don't need to know.
All right. So how much does it pay?
$17 million if you can get it done by December 17th. No extensions, no late passes. Can you do it?
Can I do it? I could do it in my sleep, underwater, with the lights off. No problem. I'll see you on the 17th.
Fine.
Oh, snap! I can't do this by December 17th. That's right in the middle of exam period. I know. I'll get some CS11 students to do it for their final project. Bermuda, here I come. Okay, Dave and I are the TAs for Adventure. Adventure is a game program. Is it on? Adventure is a game program. It's three-dimensional graphics. So if you found that you enjoyed graphics in the past programs, it's probably for you.
I think what Aaron's trying to say is that Adventure is the best program out there. Basically, it deals with two-dimensional arrays. Each field of the array corresponds to a room, and each room has certain characteristics which are stored in a record. If you really like graphics, Adventure is a lot of fun. It's very good online. Do it.
Where's Elaine?
Okay, third skit. Third skit ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, turn the lights off for a moment, Eric, so we can get ready. You guys need lights.
I am the light. This is my spirit.
I just gonna come back to front. The word for today is simulation.
Can you say simulation, class?
Simulation. I knew you could. Cat and Mouse is a simulation program.
Now, television shows you simulated pictures. We have music can be simulated. We have synthesizers to simulate sounds. We have Beatlemania, not the Beatles, but an incredible simulation. Besides music, food can be simulated. First, we had saccharin, which simulated sugar. Then, we had NutraSweet, which simulated saccharin. All of which causes cancer in white mice, which are simulating people in laboratory experiments. Now, what type of simulation should you be interested in? Creating your own simulated reality. Of course! Now, you spent an entire semester studying about a simulated universe. You sit in a class with a simulated blackboard. You use Meadow, a simulated environment. CS11 is an introduction to the entire field of computer science, a field in which nothing is real. Everything is pseudo, or simulated, or artificial. Computer scientists, in fact, study artificial intelligence. They're pleased when their flight simulators help you simulate air sickness without ever leaving the ground. Okay. Even the entire concept of programming simulates reality. An example. Let's say Glenn wanted to balance his checkbook. Could he just take out his pencil and start adding and subtracting? No! Instead, he decides to write a program. But programs are written in code. Code is written in a language that you pretend that the computer understands what you want. But can we just write code? No! In order to write code, you have to write pseudocode. Pseudocode is a way of expressing a concept in a language that pretends to be another language that you use to pretend that the computer understands what you want. But how do you check pseudocode? Class? Hand simulation. Hand simulating is a way of pretending that you are the machine, which is pretending to understand a concept written in a language that pretends to be another language that you use to pretend the computer understands what you want. By this point, you've forgotten all about the checkbook, but you pretend to be busy with your program anyway. So, why is simulated reality better? You don't have to sleep. You don't sleep anyway, you spend all your time here. Well, yeah. It says here, current realities are boring. Everyone you know lives in one. Yes, in the current reality, you have to do a CS11 final project. In simulated reality, you're on vacation. In the current reality, Buddy Santy is the host of Wheel of Fortune. In the simulated reality, he could be the mayor of Providence. Or he's that backwards. Now, let's discuss how you can create your own reality. Plenty of people are already doing it right here at Brown. We have simulated student government. We have simulated news. Best of all, we have simulated dining experiences. Finally, we'll help you off in your own simulated reality by presenting this simulated professor.
Class is canceled for the rest of the semester. Go home.
We're the cat and mouse TAs.
Yes. Chris, Eric, and Alex. Okay, since I wasn't in the skit, I get to do the little spiel or whatever they call it. Cat and mouse, again, it's a simulation, and it's of the age-old cat and mouse chase. Basically, the data structures are fairly simple. It involves 2D arrays or matrices. But you get to work a lot with graphics and also icons. You get to make up your own cat and mice or whatever. This year, cat and mouse is different than last year in that it's interactive, where the user gets to actually place the cat and the mouse on the screen and gets to place all the different furniture around. So you can select a lot of different possibilities. It's not just read in from a file and the same every time you run it. Another thing to keep in mind is that the program is very flexible, and we encourage creativity with developing the algorithm for the chase, where the mouse follows the cat or the cat follows the mouse, whatever. You can sort of think along the lines of artificial intelligence, if you will. Also, we encourage you to spice things up with color, other bells and whistles, maybe even sound if you're into it. So know the date for the info meeting on your card or your handouts. This is the best project to do, of course.
Absolutely.
And come on out and do it with us.
We're faking it. We're simulating it.
Give Adam his time.
In the red corner, hailing from the streets of Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, he is the brawler from the back alleys, mauler for the masses, and pugilist of the people. Weighing in at 145 and 1/2 pounds, announcing the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. And in the blue corner, hailing from parts unknown, announcing the program of pain, the assignment of altercation, the homework from hell, weighing in at 95 and 1/2 pounds, wallpaper. As they enter the ring tournament. Rocky Balboa lands the first hit with a line. And Wallpaper retaliates back with another line. And the battle heats up. Once again, Rocky counters with a square. What will Wallpaper do next? She retaliates with another rectangle. Again, Rocky prepares to oval Wallpaper. And again, Wallpaper fights back with another oval. And now Rocky Balboa is landing his secret combo, which sends a polygon rolling over Wallpaper's head. What will she do now? And she's down, and the winner is the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa.
Yo, Adrian, I did it! I did it! Yo, Adrian, I beat Wallpaper! Yo!
You're a bum, Rock, and that's what she'll always be. Wallpaper is a washed up nobody. A bum like you. A half pint, a joke, a loser, a weenie, a whip, a good-for-nothing girly man. It was 20 years past his prime. Hell, I could have beaten him up. And I'm 138 years old.
Yo, Mick, I think we get the point. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. Yo, Adrian.
Maybe you'd better go wander the streets of Philadelphia. Maybe you'll run into a gang of street singers who will give you some sort of idea as to what you should do with your life.
Yo, Adrian, how did you get to be so tough and smart?
Well, I guess it's like my mama used to tell me when I was little. Yo, Adrian, she'd say. You're as homely as someone who's really homely. So you better be tough and smart.
You can't code this. Do, layout. Do, layout.
Stop! Layout time! If you want a good grade, just listen to Samir. Do layout as your project and go and drink some beer. Layout draws these shapes with redo and undo. If you do choose this project, you don't have a clue. Layout.
By golly, I think I'll do layout. But I need Mick to train me. Yo, Mick, I can do it. I can take this clever layout guy.
You'll not get it tomorrow, Rock.
But I beat Wallpaper, and I hear this clever layout guy is just like him.
Just like him. Just like him. Wallpaper was good, sure. But he wasn't a killer. His time was up. Hell, he was dead, Jim.
For how long? For how long?
I had to protect you. You can't even speak in complete sentences. Well, he's a thing of beauty. He's got the edge.
the nose of the tiger.
Benjamin the eye.
He's not that good.
Then I can take him, Mick. Just show me how.
All right, but I'm getting too old for this kind of thing. First, you have to drink raw eggs every morning for no particular reason. Then you have to jog 48 miles in your underwear at 2:30 in the morning with the ugliest dog you can find.
Yo, bunches!
Shut up when I'm talking to you, kid. You're a brawler. Those rectangles and lines and ovals you throw wallpaper are good, but they won't be good enough for layout. We gotta relearn you. You gotta get speed and finesse. You gotta undo him till he's down, and then redo him again if need be.
I don't know if I can handle it, Mick. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready.
You will be, Rock. You will be.
Let's just shout it out.
Here it is.
So you got this program, see, and it's really cool. And like, you really want to do it. Because it's
That's right.
awesome.
George, you may have heard wallpaper is the best project. Layout.
Wallpaper is not as good as layout. Layout is awesome.
It really is.
Take it.
Okay, layout is very cool. You're going to do a. I meant layout. Layout is a lot like Mac Draw. You have the screen and you draw shapes. Okay, any kind of shape, polygons, rectangles, ovals, lines, and even text, and with colors and with different print patterns and stuff.
But it's really cool because you can do things with the shapes. You can move them around and you can copy them and you can flip them and you can delete them and you
Don't
can...
worry.
I'm getting excited, man. This is a cool program. All right. Well, you were doing so well. Well, anyway, layout. Layout is a really cool program. And, you know, it uses a little bit of linked lists. But that's okay, right? Because we're experts now. Everybody nod your head up and down saying, oh, yes. Anyway, so you got this really cool program that is like really useful. Like you can go home and you can draw pictures with it, and you can.
Assuming you have a Sparkspace.
Assuming, well, you know, they're not that much.
It's really pretty impressive. You can undo shapes that you've drawn infinitely, like until it's like there's like nothing there, and then redo them again. You know, that's what the undo and redo stuff is all about, right?
That's why you need linked lists.
Yes.
Everything that's cool happens with a linked
That's
list.
the key. And you also get to learn about something that's pretty cool called writer records, which you'll really like and which are easy, and which you'll find very keen and which will be useful later on if you're going on.
Isn't the name Variant Records really a cool name?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Anyway,
Next.
Rock and roll!
Which one is next?
Since the dawn of time, humans have attempted to find ways to amuse themselves. To this extent, they invented all sorts of games. In the beginning, before there was any notion of a life, games were simple. The cavemen, for example, were quite amused by rocks.
Rock!
Rock. Earth. Look, I win.
Where? I know she.
Here, diagonally.
is winning.
And wrong. Okay, so great. Roll the die.
By the gods of Olympus, a Cyclops eye! Blue! I love blue!
Nature of man for a wedge. What is the meaning of life?
As descends through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Then in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed to America. Years later, television was invented, and new games emerged, more flashy and more sophisticated.
Okay, Pearl, you're in control of the board.
All right, Alex, I'll take things starting with S.
Okay, things starting with S. The answer is 43 kilometers per hour. Olivia.
What is the speed of lime jello?
No, that's incorrect. Pearl?
What's the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
That's correct.
Today, a new game is emerging. A bolder, a more challenging, more stimulating, more entertaining game. A game that Boris plays when he's on duty. In 1990, kids all over America, including Alaska and Hawaii, are playing this mind-gripping game. Othello captures the heart and soul of every kid in America. Othello, 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 Othello.
Look! Here! Diagonally! Hi, I'm Jeff. Earl. What are the
Othello.
Othello TAs? In case the skip didn't fully illuminate what this is, Othello, as you might remember from your childhood, is a game of strategy. Othello is a game of strategy that you might remember from your childhood. It involves two players, and each player has a set of chips, which are black on one side and white on the other. And one player is black, one player is white, and the object is to surround the other player's chips. And in the end, you want to have the most chips on the board. That's the object of the game. But don't worry if you've never played before, because you don't need to know how to play to do this program. Well, you'll have to learn, of course. But you will learn eventually.
In terms of programming Othello, it uses recursion, which you're all experts in now, right? Or you will be in a couple days. And it's an introduction to the field of artificial intelligence. It is a pretty challenging project, but it's really fun because then you get to play with it afterwards, and you can play with the computer, and you can bring all your friends in and make them play with the computer. It's good. So just do it with that.
Hello, I'm Vidal Sassoon. Now, when I joined CS11 TAs this semester, it was with the understanding that I was to have complete artistic freedom in the execution of all of my TA responsibilities. Now, I have been censured and oppressed at every turn, and I've just about had it. Up to here. In fact, I had so much that a little while ago, I exploded in a burst of frenetic creativity. The part of which I just must share with you, dear. Understand? It started about 3 weeks ago when I was sitting in the back row playing Space Invaders, and Andy was ranting and raving about hand stimulation. I was inspired by the movement of Blinky. And he was so flashy, so smooth. He instantly reminded me of Dennis. I thought, if I could create a living sculpture with Binky in it. So, I took Binky. I said, I'll put you in one position here, and then I'll put you in a second position a little while later, and finally a third position. We'll go back to position 1, and then you will smoothly interpolate between those 3 positions. Ready? Animate. As I was watching Binky animate, I had only one thought. I said to myself, Vidal, darling, counterpoint. Counterpoint, 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 allegro, Travolta. Travolta! John Travolta, the epitome of stunning Italian manhood. So, I said, if I could look up John Travolta. Lacked universal importance. I need this to be billions and billions of times more important. Billions, billions, billions. Carl Sagan! So, I've got Carl Sagan. And I said, Mr. Sagan, position 1, position 2, position 3. Open your mouth. Now, animate. Just as I was about to unveil my creation to the world, I thought, well, Vidal, darling, you know, it's good, but it still lacks something. And what does it lack? What does it lack? Clearly, it lacks Madonna. So, I got Madonna. I said, position 1, position 2, position 3. No, that's all wrong. Pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Remember, you don't look good, we don't look good. Ready? Animate! Hi, I'm the Animate TA. Animate's an animation editor. All right, and what that involves is it lets you draw stick figures and lets you move them over a series of frames, like the frames in a movie. Now, it's not like a movie exactly, because what a movie does is it flashes the frames in sequence in a really fast speed. But Animate, as you can see, smoothly interpolates. It makes the stick figures go smoothly between the 2 frames. All right. Now, it's a pretty multifaceted project. You have to develop an editor, a graphics editor, but it's not exactly like layout, because you have to do paging, much like the pages in a word processor. So you have to deal with that. And the Animate algorithm is another aspect of the program. And the algorithm that you'll be using is linear translation, which is actually a fairly easy algorithm to code. It's not that big of a deal. And then there's also some file input and output, which should be no problem after you've gone through maze, which is your last assignment. Now the data structure isn't too bad, but it does involve a doubly linked list. Now I know some of you are inwardly groaning about that, but after registrar there should be no problem, right? Right. All right. Well, anyway, this project is a very challenging project, but it's also very rewarding. It's a lot of fun to play with. All right. Now, one last thing about the project. Because it's a new project and because I'm the only TA, there's only going to be able to be a limited number of students that can do this. So if you decide to choose animate on your form, on your ballot, then be sure to put down a second choice, just in case we can't accommodate it. All right, thanks. Come back on for a second, please. Okay. Thank you. Okay, class. It's time to read the poems that I assigned to you yesterday about birds. Now remember, I told you in your assignment that you had to include that birds fly high, and that birds are beautiful. Okay? Who wants to go first? You can go first.
Birds are beautiful, and they fly high in the sky.
Oh, wonderful! Okay, nice. Let's see now. You said birds are beautiful, birds fly, and birds fly high in the sky. Superb, superb. I like it, I like it. Okay, who wants to go next? How about you?
Birds fly. They are beautiful. High in the sky.
Ah, nice. Let's see. Birds fly. They are beautiful. High in the sky. Oh, I like it. Oh, this is so much fun, isn't it? Oh, God. Who wants to go next? How about you?
High in the sky, birds fly. Beautiful.
Terse, yet you mentioned high in the sky, birds fly, and beautiful. Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. I can't wait to hear the next one. Oh, you're the only one left. Birds fly high in the sky. I see one now. Wow. Where are you going, little bird? Off to see another? Oft I wonder, are all birds friends? From the lowly chicken to the noble swallow, flap, flap, flap. Or like humans, are you cruel? Oh, to be a bird, free,
No!
free, free, free.
No, that's all wrong. You didn't even meet the specifications I gave you. You didn't even use the word beautiful. Yes, we didn't come here for you to express yourself. You're here to write poetry.
But all semester you taught us how to write poems. Can't we write about stuff we like now?
No, no, no. While you're in this class, you'll do it exactly as I say. You fail. No cookies. Sit down. Oh. Okay, class. Now I'm going to give you your final poetry project. It's about buildings. Now remember, you must mention that buildings are tall, brick, beautiful.
Do you often feel restricted, boxed in, unable to express your true feelings? Are you tired of doing things the way other people tell you to do them? Then have I got something for you. The independent final project. You decide it, write it, live it, love it. You. So if you're tired of this,
and green gutters, and 2-inch thick bulletproof glassing, and carpeting, and yellow doors,
then the independent final project might just be for you.
do an independent project if you want to. Okay, therefore, people who aren't interested in doing one of the projects you just saw, those were the standard CS11 projects.
Or if it's just for people who want to just create one of their own projects, like design their own and see if they can implement it. The requirements for an independent project are that it must be significantly different than one of the other projects that have been mentioned before. Or
it's got to be challenging also. It has to be, it will be of the level of difficulty of the other assignments, except you have to design it completely on your own. So that's where the extra challenge comes in.
right, it has to have some kind of like challenging data structure algorithm, like some kind of data structure like heaps or trees, something that you didn't really go over a lot in CS.
Or the interesting algorithm. It just has to have something that makes it more than one of the projects you've done over the course of the semester. Okay, so the steps involved are you come up with an idea, then you have to write it in the form of a very simple proposal, like 1 or 2 pages. There, just write down the very high-level stuff about it. Then you bring it to us.
We'll either like approve it, reject it, suggest like additions you could make to it, maybe to make it more interesting, or if we think it's like too hard for you to do and you wouldn't be able to finish it, we give you suggestions on how to pare it down and still make it like the same basic idea that you wanted. After you give us your proposal and we've approved it or whatever, you'll be handing in an XDoc just like you did for Bounce. And then from then on, it's basically like, the time schedule is basically like any of the other CS11 projects. So, anyone have any questions about it?
Can we expand on one of the projects we already got?
One of the projects already in class.
Sorry? No, the question was, can you expand on one of the projects? You can, but it would have to be a significant expansion of one of the projects. You're welcome to use that as a basis for an idea, though. Yeah. Anything else? All right.
I just thought I'd mention that when we met for dress rehearsal at 7:30 this morning, most of the TAs had been up all night. So don't feel you're the only ones who are really putting out. These folks deserve an extra big hand. I can take a proper bow. I want my sandals back out. Any questions about the final projects, folks? Would you turn the lights on, Adam? While you have all the experts here, they've all done these final projects themselves last year, so they really know of which these speak. Don't go away, you may have questions. Yes, sir.
Next time required for all projects?
Yes.
Yes, indeed it is. There was a question over there. Right. Chris, you want to speak to when the chosen few will be sold?
It'll be right after Thanksgiving, the Monday after Thanksgiving. At the latest, we'll post it.
Okay, should we go into announcements?
Okay, we have a couple of announcements. No snazzy file today, but first of all,